Hi there, this is a walkthrough of the Sales Territory Analytics demonstration. Let's jump right in. I start by opening the DVA file or the import of the storyboard that was sent to me. It takes me directly to an analysis of all of my sales reps and their totals that they've booked so far this year, where I can actually click on a particular rep and see exactly where his deals are. Depending on which rep I choose, you see the states adjust. However, they're really widespread. There's no rhyme or reason, it seems, to who covers which area. Now, we've just hired a brand new sales vice president, and guess what? They want to introduce regions. And so now I have underneath, with this interface, been easily able to bring in some brand new groupings, where I can see there's actually 270 deals that would count as the Eastern region, with 156 as the Central and 109 as the Western region. But I also see, based on my totals, I could now see regional totals. So let's go back to that Eastern region and just keep and look at just the business that's in the Eastern region and see who my top reps are for all of those states. Well, it's still Goodkin, followed by Jones and Ambers. And you can see exactly whose deals are where. It's a pretty good way to analyze things. I also might want to drop down and look at the regions and switch that. Let's see instead which is the top rep in the Western region. And indeed, when you run that change of the filter, that grouping now switches, and I can see the 109 deals. It's actually Jones who has the best accounts, followed by Douglas and Goodkin. Those are the most likely forecast data that we have. However, we don't know which ones are actually likely to close and which of those are at risk and need some additional attention. So that's where we would need to move to the next step, the next storyboard, which is all about coverage and looking at those deals that are at risk. So I've taken the visualization and gone one step further, where I'm looking indeed at the same amount of deals for Goodkin, Jones, Douglas, etc., but now I can really see which ones are looking good, the teal, versus which deals are at risk. And what a difference. Goodkin still has a ton of business expected, but the majority of it is actually at risk, whereas someone like Jones or Douglas has a much higher percentage of their book that's likely to close. So let's just focus in then on two of those reps. And so let's look at Goodkin and Douglas, and I'll just change my filters to just look at those two reps and really do a comparison of the two analyses. And it's very striking. You can see immediately just how much business that Douglas is actually looking based on our forecast numbers. He's either more accurate or simply Goodkin might be sandbagging, for instance, but there's an awful lot more business that Goodkin holds that's at risk that we might lose. Is his coverage not strong enough? Do we need to divide those accounts more? That's really where we might take this analysis if we needed to dig deeper. And it really gives me a good chance to look at the different areas. Let's just focus on all the business that's at risk, and it's a striking difference between these two reps. Almost all of Goodkin's deals compared to Douglas, really, really big difference. What if I were to focus in on the region and see, I don't know, let's look at the Western region and see, based on some of those new groupings, which is more prominent. So Goodkin has a lot more deals at risk in the West, whereas Douglas has just a few. Really great way to take a look at not only the new groupings, but compare rep performance, look at the coverage that we have for all the business that may be at risk. Kind of leads me to a thought for territory planning. So I've built the last storyboard that really kind of looks at taking that new sales vice president's idea and breaking the United States instead of just willy-nilly based on when the business was started to actually having reps call on specific areas. It's going to save money on travel costs. It's going to help them focus better. And it's really going to help our company probably close more business. A higher conversion rate's a really good thing. So maybe if I simply looked at the region, I'll use East as an example, and we'll just look at the map for the existing business for the current rep territory, and then who would actually cover those states and deals in the proposal. Might be proposal 2 or 3, but you can see that Goodkin, still our best rep, he's got the New York, New Jersey, Ohio, Pennsylvania area, whereas Cochran has Kentucky, North Carolina, South Carolina, the Mid-Atlantic. Branch has the Northeast with Connecticut and Massachusetts, and Ambers has the Southeast with Alabama and Florida. So just a tease here to look at what else you could do. Think about some different possibilities of blending additional data into this analysis that goes beyond just looking at your territory and seeing perhaps a balance that may be better off for next year. What's in our pipeline for the next fiscal year? Do I have my reps balanced appropriately by region? What if I were to split these accounts and look at them a different way? Yet using this interface to do that visually, I think it really can provide a compelling argument. Thanks.